Hey guys, Dane McDonald here. I'm the founder and CEO of Clean Health, we're one of the world's largest fitness education providers, having educated over 50,000 PTs around the world. But we've also done over 250,000 PT sessions through our gym. So we know a thing or two about what it's like to be a personal trainer. And today I want to talk to you guys about productivity, how to hack your productivity, how to get the most out of your day, how to win the day. And obviously, we all want to perform at our highest levels and really be clear and concise with what we're doing in life. And, as a business owner, as a father of six, soon to be seven, and as a husband, I'm having to juggle my family, my fitness, and my finances on a day-to-day basis. So in today's free training, that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. But before I get into it, make sure you like us below, subscribe, send through any comments or feedback, and enjoy the training. First thing I want to talk to you guys about today is how to get more shit done. Right. So, one thing I didn't actually mention about everything that we went through so far is outside of all of that you've just seen, I've got six children and one on the way, so seven. Right. So, yes, it's like a cult family, right? Brady Bunch. But, anyone that is a parent knows that having one child can add a lot of work to your plate. Having two children can definitely do that. But having the amount that my wife and I do is a lot. And my wife also works in the business at Clean Health as well. She's our operations manager. So we both work in the business together. She came into the business about 5 years ago. And, so it's a family business. And, we've, to this point, we're very fortunate. We have an amazing team of staff around Australia, in Asia and North America that work with us. And, one of the things that I've really had to kind of refine over the years is my productivity. And I tell people now, like at 39, turning 40, I get more stuff done now and am more efficient now than I ever have been in my life. Right. And there's a reason behind that. So in this module, I want to go through with you guys. I want to help you get clarity on what you actually want in life and then show you how to get it. And obviously, you guys have come onto this call today because you want to grow your fitness business, and that's great. But what I want to really do with you guys is drill down deep into the specifics of what that actually looks like, and then give you a bit of a process that you can start applying each and every day so that you can start to move the needle, right? Because a dream or a goal without habits that are being executed are meaningless, right? And that's what we're going to get into. So a bit of an overview, right? You are your routine, which we're going to talk about. And then success is a combination of having a vision, right? So having a vision in regards to what you want in your life, what you want to do in your career, having the solutions to be able to, solve a problem for the type of consumer that you want to work with, having habits that will reflect that, and then, timesing that by time. So obviously time in the trenches, and then also timing, right? Because in life, in business, it's not always about the person that has the best idea or is the best at what they do. Sometimes it's also the timing aspect of when they apply that is going to allow them to go from point A to point B a bit quicker than someone else. So how I like to kind of look at it is I've created this table, and it's what I call like my hierarchy of success. So I think if you've seen Eric Helms, he has the what is it the hierarchy of fat loss, and it's something where you've got energy balance, macros, micros, meal timing, and supplements in terms of the order of priority for fat loss. Well, this is really the order of priority in regards to success. And so step one for me is really identifying your highest values. So what do I mean by that? Well, for everyone here is at a different stage in their life, right? So when I was at 21 years old, the most important thing to me was basically my health and my career, right? Fast forward now to 39, the most important thing for me right now is my family and my health. Sure, my career is super important to me, but it's a secondary layer. It is not as important at this point in my life compared to my family, especially with another child on the way, right? So, getting clear on that. The second thing you need to do is get clear on what you're actually passionate about, right? So let's just say, use the example of me at 21. I'm passionate about my career and I'm passionate about health. Okay, so when it comes to my career, what parts of that am I passionate about? Right. So am I passionate about helping people with their nutrition for, fat loss? Am I passionate about working with powerlifting athletes to get them stronger? Am I passionate about working with other trainers to help mentor them and educate them to become the best versions of themselves? I don't know. Again, that's something that you need to write down in reflection to this. And By the way, post presentation, we can send these slide decks to you so that you've got them there as well to refer back to. Um, and the passion part is important because, like, let's just say you want to work with, I don't know, athletes as a strength coach. Cool. All right. So, what skills do you need to be able to do that? And that's where the auditing part comes in, right? So, looking at your strengths, looking at weaknesses, looking at any opportunities, any threats. Because, having a dream and having passion are great, but you need the skills and experience to apply that passion, right? And that comes through learning, that comes through a variety of different things. So, if but what I want to do is actually step it back a little bit, because, like, if we're looking at this in terms of the long-term goal, I always say, like, when you're trying to establish your career, your dream life, you need to look at what do you want, when do you want it by, why is it important to you, and how can you achieve it, right? And again, using that example before, you might want to work as a strength coach with sports teams, and you want to, live in, I don't know, live in Japan doing it, right? So you want to train athletes in Japan as a strength coach because you love the culture and love the country, and you want to get paid $100,000 per annum doing it, right? You're 21 years old, right? So you want to do that by the time I'm 25. Now, why is that important to you? Well, it might be important to you because you love Japanese culture, you're a former athlete yourself, you love working with athletes, you feel more connected to them, it's something you're more passionate about, right? How can you achieve that? All right, well, I've just got my personal training qualification. I want to go work with athletes. Who are some people that I can go and invest with and skill stack with that are going to help me, develop the skills that I need that are going to marry up with my goal? And so that's a process that I apply whenever I have a goal. What do I want? When do I want it? Why is it important to me? And how can I achieve it? And the why part is super important. And sometimes, there might only be, okay, well, I want to get paid doing what I love. Okay, well, why do you want to get paid doing what you love? Why is that important to you? No one knows that but you, but just make sure when you write this down that you're honest with yourself. And again, auditing yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. So, like, if I look at when I was a young trainer, when I was showing you guys those examples, my goal for me was I wanted to become the best trainer in Australia. That was my goal, right? And so at that point in time, when I had that goal, and that was kind of triggered in '09 when I met Charles Poliquin, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to become the best trainer in Australia. I need two things. One, I need a higher level of skills. And two, I need to apply those skills to clients to build the experience in the trenches. And so, like, over the next 2 years, I invested hundreds of thousands of dollars of time, money, and energy into leveling up my skill set. Right. So I turned my weaknesses into strengths. I saw an opportunity because I was doing 2, 3, 4 times as much travel as any of my colleagues. I was going to the States 3, 4, 5 times a year. I was going to Europe. I was doing all this stuff. Right. So I was outworking the competition per se. And again, like in the auditing aspect, coming back to values, like, what is most important? Is it your relationships, your health, your career, your income, your emotions? Like, that's an important one that I haven't touched base on just right now as well. It's like, and it kind of gets overlooked as a trainer because it's like you wake up, you do your thing and X, Y, Z, but it's like what you bring, what energy you bring to the table with your clients, whether it's online, whether it's on social, whether it's in person in the gym, whatever it might be, it's going to obviously over time determine your level of success, because the type of relationships that you build a lot of the time are going to be based off how you are feeling. And if you're feeling like crap, you're not going to be putting forward the best version of yourself. So again, looking at this, write down which areas are important to you. And this might change. Like, I look at this at the beginning or the end of every year and say, like, what do I want to improve on? Like, what is most important to me at this point in my life? Is it my career, income, whatever it might be? And career and income, by the way, are two different things, because your career will facilitate your income, right? But conversely, if you've got other things working for you, you can also get income in from other sources. So again, it's different strokes for different folks. So once you get clear on all that, once you've kind of identified any kind of limitations on your beliefs, your your skills, your behaviors, that's where you actually start to create a new strategy where you can start to execute new habits and then be consistent in regards to how you execute them. So what I've done is like, if you look at everything that we went through just there, this is relating more, I guess, to the theory of it all. Now we want to apply it. So, like, a simple process that I do is, 10 things. Here are 10 things that I can execute every day that are going to build habits and behaviors that are going to lead to my end goal. So, for example, for me, I will go to sleep by 9:30 every night and I'll wake up by 4:30 every morning or 5 o'clock on the weekends. But I do that pretty much 7 days a week. Now, why do I do that? Because for me, my sweet spot, 5, 6 days a week is 7 hours of sleep. And then maybe on a Sunday, I might extend that out to eight, 8.5. It just depends on the kids, right? But for me, if I'm doing that and getting up early as well, by the time it comes to 7:30, I've already been up for a few hours. So if I multiply that across 6 days a week, 7 days a week, that's an extra 6 times 2, 12 to 18, probably 15 hours of work capacity that I've got compared to everyone else. Right. And in that 15 hours, I can work on my business, I can do client programs, I can, jump on a clean health course or go to YouTube and do some learning, whatever it might be. Right. But I'm creating separation between trainer A and trainer B, if that makes sense. I'll exercise for, 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week by 10 o'clock. I've gone through, not when I was a trainer, but when I kind of moved on from being and retiring as a trainer in 2017 and really just focusing on the business as CEO, I got really unhealthy. Right, I started prioritizing work, and it was funny. I actually became the corporate guy that I used to train back in the day. And in reflection, it was a really good experience to go through because it gave me some empathy to understand what those clients were going through, but B, actually helped me understand the psychology of what it's like working with someone that is in a high stress job, a lot of responsibility, family, all that type of stuff. And so, for you as a trainer, obviously your exercise, it needs to be booked in like an appointment, like a session. I'll be present with my loved ones. I mean, look, hey, your relationships, it could be with your parents, it could be with your brother, your sister, it could be with your dog, like whatever it might be, take some time every day to actually just stop and smell the roses. And likewise with, I will practice gratitude by, for 5 minutes by 6 p.m. every day. Like, so, that the whole concept of gratitude, and it's actually been shown to, increase our feel good hormones, increase our sense of fulfillment and stuff like that. Is it doesn't necessarily need to be where you sit there and, meditate like a monk out on the river, not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I do that sometimes, but, even just sitting back, writing down what your goals are, where you want to go, in your life, and actually just, even if it's just 2 or 3 things in your life right now that you were happy for or grateful for, writing that down or even just thinking about it. The sixth one, I will help 25 clients every week lose or get, drop a kilo body fat or 2.2 pounds body fat off them every week, whatever it might be. Like, set some goals, not just with individual clients, but with your client group, right? That's one thing that we used to do in the gyms. It's like, if we had a few hundred active clients every week overall, split, like if we've got the fat loss group and the hypertrophy group or whatever it is, but with the weight loss group or the fat loss group, we want them to lose X amount of weight, X amount of body fat every week, right? And for example, point 7, I will do, it could be 2 or 3 tasks that you have identified that you need to get better at to, help improve your career every day before whatever time. So again, writing that down. I will also complete X amount of tasks this week to the best of my ability. So it could be that every week you need to, you've got 30 active clients and they're on programming rotation. So every week, 10 of them need new programs. So every week, I'll make sure that all 10 of my clients' programs are done, they're delivered on time, etc. This one's important. I will spend X amount of hours this week learning about, whatever it is that you need help in. So it's funny. Like if you look at, I was reading an article on Forbes the other day. I think it was about Elon Musk and Bill Gates and a bunch of billionaires. And I think one of the key determining factors that they spoke about that separated them from the average person was that they spent, I think it was an average of 2 hours per day learning, right? So if you think about that, most people after the age of 40 stop learning, right? Um, but if you're doing 2 hours a day of learning, right, and you're doing that across the month, that's 60 hours in a month, right? 60 times 12 months, that's 720 hours a year, right? You do that over a 5-year period, all of a sudden you've done 3,500, 4,000 hours of study, right? And you might do 1,000 of that on nutrition, 1,000 of that on training. Like, what do you think that's going to do to your skills and ability to help your clients? And then the final one is I will accept everything that life throws at me without judgment. And that's an important one because, like, you are going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where a prospect comes up to you on the gym floor, you convert them and get new business. You're going to have days when they come up to you, you speak with them, you don't convert them, and they go with another trainer that you don't like, and you feel shit about yourself. Right. So just learn to accept anything and everything that life throws at you. And I always like, I've had lots of different things going in my life, but one thing I've learned is to look at every situation that occurs from two lenses. Okay. So, like, one is, what am I meant to learn from this? And then two, um, you know, how can I apply that learning moving forward in my life? All right. And 9 times out of 10 you can actually do that. There'll be the 10% where it's like quite hard, but 9 times out of 10 you can do that. So I think, in summary, with this first section, is I wanted to really help you guys know yourself a bit more and know your habits, because at the end of the day, your life as a PT is going to be a result of the daily habits that you are executing each and every day, week after week, month after month, plus your time in the trenches actually applying your methods, your systems, your knowledge with your niche. Okay. And that part there, you can create your own reality. You really can. Like, if one thing for me is, like, a lot of people are like, okay, wow, Dane, you've done XYZ and you did it at a pretty young age. But that's because in my 20s and my early 30s, and even now, to be honest, but definitely in my 20s and early 30s, I didn't go out, I didn't party, I didn't go do all that. Like, when my friends were going out, I was studying, right? I didn't get caught up in all that shit. I was really focused on my goal, and my goal for me was to become the best, right? And again, that doesn't mean that it's the right goal, but whatever your goal is, like, be committed to it, and but also be, also be a bit understanding and nurturing of yourself, because there will be days when you don't get as much stuff done as you would like. Okay, so that's section one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.